Hello, this is Cecile. I'm going to do the brief explanation regarding the operations of Nestle. Nestle is the largest, most diverse food and beverage company in the world. It is headquartered in Switzerland. The Swiss multinational began as a producer of infant foods in 1867. In 1905, the company merged with the Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Corporation and Farine Lactée Henry Nestle to become Nestle Group. Nestle was established over 150 years ago and have spread their business worldwide. Their products are sold in 187 countries and they employ about 308,000 people around the world. In the US alone, there are more than 200 locations in 34 states, including 68 manufacturing facilities. Nestle employs more than 36,000 people in the United States. Nestle has over 2,000 brands. It produces various types of food like infant and toddler foods, bottled water, frozen foods, medical food, breakfast items, healthcare drinks, dairy product, and pet foods. Their most popular brands are Nespresso, Nescafe, Kit Kat, Purina Pet Foods, Maggi, and dozens of other market leaders in their product categories. The company's biggest international competitor worldwide include Unilever, Pepsi, Kraft Food, and many other beverage, food, and snack companies. Nestle considers operation department is the backbone of the business. All the operation strategies are dependent on the performance of the operation department. Nestle is in the fast-moving consumer goods industry. Their products sell quickly and are affordable for the average consumer in the market. Companies selling the fast-moving consumer goods get small profit margins from an individual product sale, but they sell large quantities and can earn substantial revenues and profits to sustain their operations and growth plans. Nestle focuses on high product quality and ensures that they have quality production of food products so that their brand image is maintained in the world market. Nestle focuses on efficiency improvement and optimizing input cost for business effectiveness. They have the policy to give opportunities to local producers to become one of their suppliers. This is because the company is widely spread around the world and basically uses fresh raw materials such as milk, coffee, and cocoa. Nestle derived the ethical principles as fundamental elements in their business process and value chain. They have integrity and values to be followed by all employees in the business. Thank you.
What is standard costing? Put simply, it is a practice of substituting an expected cost for an actual cost in the cost part of the profit plan. This gives the company an estimate of what a particular job would cost. One must estimate costs for some or even all activities within a company to get the estimate when standard costing is used. The reason behind this is that there are several functions that are too time consuming to get the actual cost for. There are many functions that companies like Nestle that use standard costing. It can be used for budgeting, inventory costing, or price formulation. What is standard costing primarily used for though? It is mainly used for budgeting for the next fiscal year to compare it to actual costs. What are some benefits to standard costing? Some benefits from using standard costing are improved cost control, more useful information for planning and decision making, easier inventory controls, and reduction in production costs. What are the types of variances that can occur? There are two types of variances that can happen with standard costing and must be watched out for. They are rate variance and volume variance. The rate variance is the difference between what is the actual price and what is the expected price of the product. The volume variance is the difference between what is expected and what is produced. Variances in this costing system are recorded as well. It is recorded to show that there is a difference in the standard and the actual cost. But one must be able to locate and isolate variances. If there is a variance between the standard cost and the actual cost, then it can help the managers at Nestle figure out where the problems may arise in the production. This can help with further decisions to raise prices or cut costs to produce items if the variance is too problematic and not easily solved. How does one like Nestle create a standard cost? At the most basic level, it can be calculated simply by the average of the most recent actual cost of the past few months in the production cycle. There are some considerations when creating the standard cost, such as machine age and volume variance. Standard cost is used with all companies and at least helping to create the budget. For a large company like Nestle, it should take a significant amount of time to come up with the standard cost so that there will not be a significant impact on the differences between the standard and actual costs. This can help Nestle save on costs and help revenues in the budget. If it is hastily done, then the variance would be huge between actual and standard costs. If the standard cost is on track with the actual cost, then Nestle would be on track for the cost part of the profit plan.
There are many reasons why Nestle could be using the standard costing concept. To reiterate, the standard costing is a tool that many manufacturing companies use to plan budgets, control costs, and evaluate performance. Moreover, Nestle costs include direct manufacturing, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Rather than reporting the actual cost of manufacturing labor and overhead, Nestle assigns a standard cost. All costs of goods sold and inventories are recorded as standard costs instead of actual costs, even though the company still pays actual cost. This causes variances, or the differences between standard and actual cost. But why is this important and useful? During budgeting, Nestle will use standard planned costs as a control. Unfavorable variances occur when actual costs are larger than standard cost. Oppositely, Nestle will experience a favorable variance when actual costs are less than standard costs. For example, if the company uses more direct material than standard quantity of material for products manufactured, then Nestle will have unfavorable direct material variance. It is good practice for the cost accountants to immediately report any variance. That way their books can reflect, and so that management can avert their attention to those variants and correct them sooner rather than later. This also applies to direct labor and manufacturing overhead. Nestle has many subsidiaries, so it is very important to strategize and use best practices in order to stay up to date with their cost. Furthermore, actions need to be taken as soon as variances are reported. This will ensure better budgets, controls, and performance.
Nestle has been in business for over 150 years. The Nestle brand is sold in over 187 countries around the world. Nestle also employs over 36,000 people in the United States. The Nestle brand consists of brands from baby food to pet food, serving many divisions of the company. The standard costing can be used by Nestle for their budgeting, their inventory, and also their cost of goods. But mainly this is used for product pricing. Nestle can also use rate variances in their budgets to help with the managing of pricing of different brands. This would enable the company to increase or decrease the pricing for the product. This would also help the company to lower cost of goods costs that they purchase from vendors. This will also be a saving to the company's budget. Accountants from Nestle have a very important part in the company's financials. Cost accountants work closely with the financial accountants to determine the best path for the company when it comes to their pricing and budgeting. The costing department works very closely with the management teams to ensure the pricing is competitive. The competitive brands in this industry is very high. This process allows Nestle to stay in the competitive market with all the brands that is produced by the company. The Nestle brand is known worldwide, and Nestle's name is known with consumers for having good products and quality of brand. Nestle ensures its safety for this product 100%. The accounting team has a daunting task of making all the materials purchased for the materials the best possible raw materials. In doing this, they ensure its quantity, making them the leader in the customer approval and quality of products. Standard costing for the company such as Nestle would be a large undertaking, but in the end, the company would be served better by implementing this process. But with taking on the standard costing, it is a way to control costs in the company. Variances could be noticed and checked immediately for improvement of costs. Cost of good pricing would be easier under this method of accounting. Though it would be a large undertaking, it would help the company in all aspects. In closing, Nestle would benefit from using the standard costing accounting to ensure proper pricing and be competitive in this area of their production.